All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, John. It's Thursday, 3:30 time for another edition of Live Mike here on the Modeling with Mike channel. Just I'll start by apologizing for not being here last week. My back was acting up and I could barely get out of my chair, let alone do a live stream. But I'm feeling much better this week. So here we go. The last poll results, if you remember from 2 weeks ago, the question was, should model kit instructions change industry wide? And a little bit of a surprising result here. Yes, 100% of you said yes, and not a one said no. So that was kind of surprising. So today, let me start by asking you this. When you weather your models, do you go subtle or do you go all in with heavy weathering? This is the question we'll be discussing today. It's going to be subtle versus heavy weathering. What looks best on scale models? So, first of all, what is weathering on models for all you beginners? Well, weathering is a process that after you have your model constructed and painted, you add oils and streaking and pastels and powders and stuff to reenact the effects of weather on your model. That's basically what weathering is. And Moosey wants down. He's been acting for the past 5 minutes. There you go, buddy. Now, common techniques of weathering. You have washes, you have filters. You can use makeup to replicate uh, oil streaking and uh, gun blasting residue on plane wings and stuff like that. And you can use pastels to replicate mud on the bottom of your tanks and AFVs and a lot of other techniques. So let's talk about the case for yeah, easy for you to say. Let's talk about the case for subtle weathering. The benefits to subtle weathering are realism, restraint, and scale accuracy. Subtle weathering works great for factory fresh builds, show models, and clean dioramas. Let's talk about the case for heavy weathering. The benefits of it are dramatic, storytelling, and visual impact. It works great for battle damaged armor, weathered aircraft, and aged vehicles. And here's where techniques like rust effects, paint chipping, oil streaking, and grime effects come into being and help out a lot. Now, can we find a balance? Sure, we can. You can, a lot of times, lighting, photography, and personal taste all play a role in whether you weather subtly or heavily. Now, that's my little spiel for today. Let's see what y'all have to say. Hey, John, what's up? Says, hi, just sat with beer and curries, so be with you in a bit. Okay, well, I'll keep things going till you come back. uh, show you what I've been working on. I finally found time last night to start this. This is my Smur 148 Bristol Bulldog. And just like a Smur kit, it was pretty much loaded with flash. Had the windshield missing, so I got to find a way to replace that. That's what's on my bench right now. And when you get back, John, we're talking about subtle versus heavy weathering. What looks best on scale models? And let's see. I wanted to say something, but I can't remember what it was. Uh, I know my first shipment of Kaleido paint's on its way to me. So my finale on the finale on the Hasagawa Zero build is tomorrow. I'm finishing filming it tomorrow, and it'll go public Tuesday. So I'll start the Kaleido review on Tuesday. And John, you say weathering depends on subject matter and how you want to portray the model. Do you want museum piece or have battle damage? Very true. I mean, it all depends on what you're going after. Like if you're doing a model car, you're probably not going to want any weathering at all on it. Let's see. So tell me what's your go-to weathering technique, John? Mine's one or two things. I usually use the makeup kit or pastels. I've really gotten into chipping though lately. Love chipping, especially on planes and tanks where people walk on it a lot. Chet, how's things going up in Massachusetts, Chet? And since you just showed up, the subject for today is subtle versus heavy weathering. What looks best on scale models? And I just asked John what his go-to weathering technique is. So, what say you on that, Chet? John says natural sponge broke up is great for chipping. I use pigments and Flory washes. And Chet says depends on the look you're after. Exactly. I wouldn't know if you do much weathering at all, Chet, with your cars. stuff, you usually want a nice showroom look, and unless you're doing a diorama or something. But you probably don't do much weathering at all, do you? Yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking because you do cars quite a bit. I've been watching your channel. Had to check out your video on the Kaleido paint reviews because I'm gonna do mine Tuesday. Supposed to my shipment's supposed to be here Monday, so Chet says, but have done some weathering on chassis occasionally. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cool. Yeah, like I said, I usually use I like to use women's makeup on planes. Replicates it replicates you know engine residue and also gun residue. It's great for that. Gun residue on the wings. Oh, when you get in that blowback. John says my big diorama is going to need loads of weathering of the heavy variety. Yeah, I bet, John. Chet says one model I rusted the exhaust manifolds, and if the headers are chrome, may do some heat staining. Cool. I've never tried that before, heat staining. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget about the holiday group build on the channel. You guys can enter. You guys can enter a model you're entering in some other group build. I don't care. This is really a pretty casual group build. So if you're like Chet, if you're entering a car in another group build, as long as you started it after the 15th of last month, hey, send me an email with a picture of the box. And bingo bango. Same thing with you, John. Because right now I only got one entry. Well, counting myself too. So John says, been asked to make a Range Rover for chap who used to have 7 before he got MS. So it's going to be pristine and shiny. Cool. Range Rovers are nice. Range Rover, the British version of what a Mercedes SUV on steroids. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent, John. Says we'll enter that into the group build. And also, guys, remember, if you get that whatever model you're working on for the group build done, you want to start another one, go ahead. You can enter more than one too. So, this is really laid back. It's a holiday group build. It's all about fun. And yeah, John, just send me an email with the model box on it. That'll be good. And I'll tell you the address, the email address. It's crippleguycreations at gmail.com. Cripple Guy Creations, all lowercase and one word, at gmail.com. And if you forget it, it's on the channel description on my channel homepage. John says, how are you going to weather your stream build of your aircraft? I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to tune in on Tuesday to find that out. Because that's all already been filmed. I did that today. Filmed that earlier this afternoon. So you'll find that out Tuesday. I'm an asshole, I know. Bernard Dye, how you doing, buddy? As of now, the only man who's entered the group build, John Chet. He says, hi guys, what did I miss? Well, since you asked, Bernard, the topic of this week is subtle or heavy weathering. What looks best on scale models? And then I asked, what's your go-to weathering technique? So, and then we got into a little bit of the group build. So, you're caught up pretty much. Bernard says, I have not yet ventured into weathering since my return to modeling, but I would prefer light weathering. It is something I have to learn. True. Stephen Kessel, model on, Steve. Stephen. Stephen, subject of today is subtle or heavy weathering. What looks best on scale models? And I also asked, what's your go-to weathering technique? And we also discussed the holiday group build. If you're interested, just pick a model out. You have to have it done by the 15th of December. Chet says, I'm building easy for you to say. I'm building a 69 Pro Street GTX. Is that for the group build? Stephen says, hey, billboards. Chet, if that's for the holiday group build, don't forget to send me an email of the model box. Read my previous reply. It's for those. Okay. Well, hold on, folks. Just had an ad flip up right in midstream, and I gotta get rid of it. There we go. Chat says, read my previous reply. It's for those. And your previous reply says, one model I rusted the exhaust manifolds, and if the headers are chrome, may do some heat staining. Steven says, how do you weather your models, Mike? I.e. salt or hairspray? I use to chip, I use hairspray to chip. Guy right here. Suave Max Hold hairspray. And a lot of times I'll use pastels on my tanks for mud effects, for gun residue and oil residue and stuff. I'll use women's makeup, eyeliner, and stuff like that. Works great. John says, billboards builds. What do you use to get heat effect? Yeah, Chad, I'd like to know that. I would love to know that. The cheaper hairspray, the better. Yeah, I got that from Dollar General. Go to the dollar store. Or if you're across the pond, the pound store. Chet says clear red, blue, violet, and yellows. Usually Alcoa. Oh, Alclad. Okay. Cool. John says, do you use wet methods to let them mingle together? Chet says, I have Tamiya heat stain powders, but haven't tried them yet. Ooh. Yeah, I'll just say one thing. Don't try to do a DIY. I tried to do, as you all know, I tried to do a video on that about a month and a half or so ago. It didn't go well. And the video didn't go well. Duh, but Bernard says, my wife jokes that if modeling doesn't work out, we can go work in salons with all the flies, hairspray, all the files, hairspray, paint, and airbrushes we have. Yeah. No kidding. I think you could say that just with about any modeler. Chet says, now just lightly spray each color and try fading them. I typically go a little heavy with them. Yeah, I've been looking today since I'm gonna do that Kaleido review Tuesday. I've been looking at a lot of a lot of other channels, Kaleido reviews. I'm thinking, oh man, those auto colors are just phenomenal. Michael Lambertino, how's everything in Philly, my friend? Chet says I end up a little heavy handed, but I'm trying to get lighter. Bernard says I would like to see a video on the hairspray technique one day, unless he already made one before. Uh, I didn't make a whole video on it. It was part of another weathering video, but yeah, I can make a whole video on that because really the last time I just sort of I didn't know a quick overview of it as part of an overall weathering video. So yeah, I can do that. Bernard, let me get this gallery stuff out of the way first, and I think I can go ahead and do that. That's no problem at all. Michael says everything is going great. Perfect. Oh, Boyarki Fisherman, hello there. How was you this fine afternoon? Or if you're in John's part of the world, evening. Everything here is going great. Can you believe we already blew through a half hour? Unbelievable. Chet says, I'm thinking of trying to wire in headlights and taillights on a model, but not sure the correct LED size. Too many choices. Amen on that. Yeah, experiment. Very wet and windy evening. Well, welcome to England, huh? That time of year, my friend, that time of year. Pretty soon that wet's gonna become white. Enjoying the fall colors from the front porch here in the Ozarks. Oh yeah. You're in Missouri, aren't you? The Ozarks or someplace around there. Missouri or Arkansas or something like that. If I remember right. Arkansas, yep. And if you're in the Ozarks, let me guess. Northwest Arkansas? Northwest, North Central? Because when I think of the Ozarks, I'm thinking about like the Branson, Joplin, Missouri area and north Northern Northwest Arkansas. Yep, Northwest. Yep. Okay. So you're right around. You're in Walmart country. Walmart country. The death of mom and pop stores everywhere. Let's see here. Uh, Walmart. John says, don't get chance to see the colors as wind takes care of that. Trees become bare in days. Yeah. We're having a lot of good colors. Here, I'll move the. Well, I don't think you could see it. I was gonna move the camera toward the window so you can see the colors outside, but all you see is glare. So sorry, but believe me, they're out there, and there's some trees there that are like deep red. There's some are nice orange and some tans out there. Nice. Tis the season. Tis the season. We're going to be putting up those Christmas trees here pretty soon. So now that everybody's here, what's on all your benches right now? I'll show you what's on mine. I got all this. Oh, and there it goes. Well, it was my Bristol Bulldog. I can reattach it. Yep, there it is. There's my Bristol Bulldog by Summer. I'll fix that later. See where my part went to. There it is. Okay. Chet says, on my bench, mess is what I have. Yeah, I've seen your bench. I've seen your bench, Chet. Bernard says, I'm working on the Blue Angels F11F Tiger for the group build. Cool. And I told the other guys earlier, Bernard, once you're done with that, don't hesitate to start another. You can enter more than one in the group build as long as it's done before the 15th. John says, got a 2-foot square as with a bombed out bridge, huh? 2-foot square house, maybe with a bomb? No, 2-foot square. What's a has? Okay. Bernard says, one nice thing about doing air show birds is you don't have to worry much about weathering. True. Yeah, they do have to keep those nice and shiny. especially the Blue Angels. Those things, oh man, those things are nice. Obayarki Fisherman finally pulled the trigger, got a Spitfire Edward Profi kit. Cool, go ahead and enter it in the group build. Don't forget about that. If you're entering it for another one, you can enter it in this one. So doesn't matter to me none. Just as long as y'all get your stuff done and into me by December 15th. Afterwards, it's going to be too late because I got to have time to put it all together in a video for you guys. Bernard says, Edward is good stuff. I'm looking forward to building one soon. Yes, they are. They are good stuff. So, oh boy, Yorkie, did you get it from Walmart? John says, got a 2-foot square base with there you go, with bombed out bridge, just painting the individual bricks. Now, John, that makes sense. Yeah, hey John, if you get that build done before the 15th of December, go ahead and enter it in the group build. That'd be nice to see. Chet says, as far as builds, I have a Mobius Chevy 2 gasser in final assembly, a 71 Revell Cuda ready for the final build, a Revell Monogram 71 Challenger TA waiting on decals from Ray's, a Corvette. Wow. Oh boy, Arky says, so far going together nicely. It's my first from them. Yeah, Edward's not bad. Not bad company at all. So, yeah. Bernard says, also working on a Monogram 148 MiG-29. Those 1990s 148th Monogram airplane kits are iconic for the era, but the quality is mediocre, and they usually need some work to get into shape. Yeah. 90s era seems to be a low point for a lot of companies. Airfix was crap back in the 90s. Monogram. Chet says, I need the Sand Smooth, the 71 Pro Street GTX just starting, the USAC Camaro, and the VCG Resins effing anything Pro Stock 40 Ford Coupe. Cool. John Christmas, not a chance of getting it finished in time for group build. Still got a meat chopper half track to build and 27 figures to paint. Wow. Damn. That's cool. Maybe just show us a whip on it. Oh boy, Arky says, ooh, gotta love those figures. Michael says, nothing related to model cars, but I have a bunch of boxcar waiting to get weathered up and graffitied for this holiday season's model rest open house. Cool. Cool. Bernard says, that monogram kit I'm working on feels like half my time. All these messages, blah. That monogram kit I'm working on feels like half my time is spent sanding. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm gonna look on this. Half the time I'm gonna be doing is filling and sanding and cutting flash. Chet says, "Oh, and I also have a '37 Ford pickup for the Got Fuels Saturday night hangout build. That's everything currently working on. Wow." Michael says, "Model Railroad open house." Okay. Uh, John says, thinking of getting a new magnifying glass and light when go to Telford. That's coming up too. That's only a couple weeks away, isn't it? Or maybe a week away. Chet says, problem is I started chasing white rabbits instead of focusing on one build. Stay away from the hookah smoking caterpillar, but remember what the dormouse said. Hell. The hookah smoking caterpillar. Oh, you're too much, Chet. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Now, here's a question for you, all getting back on topic. Is there a sweet spot between subtle and heavy? Is there? I say oh, Michael says, but I have been working on a 1957 T-Bird and a 1960 Chevy pickup. Cool. Oboyarki says, ADHD, why finish just one thing when you can start five? True. Oh, White Rabbit. Yes, great song by Jefferson Airplane. Instead of squirrels, it's white rabbits. Yep. One pill makes you taller, one pill makes you small. And the one that mama gives you doesn't do anything at all. John Christmas says, wish had listened to Dormouse, would have never started Diorama. Starting to regret it, are you, John? Oh, Lord. Man, can you guys believe we're already halfway through this live stream already? Seems like I've only been on like 10 minutes. That's what happens when you have fun. Bernard says, I think it's good to have multiple kits in progress. If you get tired of sanding one, you can work on painting or basking another. Yeah. The chat says, is there a sweet spot again? It depends on the look you're going for. True. I was going to say before the last volley of chats came in that, yeah, I don't think there is one because just what you said, Chad. the look you're going for. It's the story behind the model, you know? Yeah. So it is officially halfway through. So I am going to start my, halfway through the live stream sort of uh, look ahead at the channel. Uh, Tomorrow at 8:30, the first, the next to last video in the Hasagawa Zero build comes out. We're going to be painting the model and decaling the model and putting the first clear coat on it. Coming out Tuesday will be the last Hasagawa build series video. We're going to be weathering and putting the final touches on it, as well as giving out the final score, so you don't want to miss that. And then that a week from tomorrow will be the my review of the Gallery Kaleido paint series. So don't want to miss that. So that's what's coming up on the channel. Bernard says, do you think one type of model is easier to weather than others? Plane versus armor versus cars. Cars are the easiest. Because if you're building a show car, you don't need to weather it. It doesn't need weathering. Not a damn bit. Cleaner the better. Am I not right, Chet, on that? John says, agree, you can really have one preferred weathering style as different subjects need different weathering styles. True. Obayarki says, armor is easier for me, Bernard. Chet says, I build car models, but building other genres, you can get to learn different techniques that you can use across other genres. Yeah. True. Very true, Chet. And yeah, that's the way I've learned how to do a lot of my budget weathering, is just doing different genres. John says armor or helicopters, flying tanks are the easiest, and you can hide a multiple of mistakes. True. Very true. And yeah, I still think cars, because like I said, if you're building a show car, no weathering, none. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here. Come here. All right, guys, here's your Moosey fix. Moosey says hi. Chet says, not necessarily. If you want a realistic, not showroom cars, you need some weathering. A drag car looks better with some tire rubber on the rear quarter. Dirt track car, mud, and dirt all over. Michael says no. It depends what category you're in, or either weathered area, and if not, your paint better be spot on with mirror paint finish. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying was the show car. I've never seen a guy come up to it at a car show with mud on his car. Obayarki fisherman, finally the moose. Yep, the moosey's here. Billboard says a streetcar, dirt and grime under the chassis. Yeah, but Chet, doesn't a show car? I mean the ones you go to car shows and look at, and the guy's sitting there still polishing it, with his chamois. That's the ones I'm thinking of. John says the star of the show. You got it, buddy. Moosey. Yep, you're a hit, buddy. What do you think of that? Hmm? Yeah. Love you too, bud. He's a good boy. Bernard says, that's true, Michael. Sometimes it's harder to get the perfect finish than to make it dirty. Like John said, you can cover mistakes with weathering. Very true. Very true. Okay, Chet. We're coming up to an hour. Yes, but unless it's trailered to the show, it will be dirty and grimy. And oh, okay. Yeah, you got a point. You do have a point. Yeah, and they never let you go under there and look up in the undercarriage, do they? They just want you to look at that nice shiny engine and the nice shiny body and the nice perfectly detailed interior. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So, Chet, who is playing Thursday night football tonight? Do you know? Chet says a rat rod would be nasty and grimy looking. Ah, okay. John says, go and look at Peter Oxley and his video on his Porsche that he owns. Even the underneath is shining and he takes it out for drives. Hmm. He must clean the damn thing every day. Hmm. Hmm. That's right. Ravens and the Fins. Yeah. The Who Cares Bowl. I knew there was some reason I forgot it. Yeah. Tough luck what happened to your guys' running back, though, Chet. That was bad. He parks it on carpets. Damn. You booty. Parks it on carpets. Wow. I'd love to see what the apartment manager would say if I parked a car in here. Yes. Yes, buddy. Coming up on an hour, folks. Jeez, oh Pete, time is flying by. Tomorrow's Halloween. Thanksgiving in a month. We're going to be putting up Christmas trees in a month, people. Bougie, bougie, bougie. Let's see here. Chet says, did you see any of my Giants Beagles game? If they're not going to outlaw the tickle butt push, they need to be challenged every time. It's run, it's a false start, and if it hurts, and if Hurts was stopped from part two's coming. Got. John says got. Well, got to you, John. Hurts was stopped from forward progress. He was short. He reached across the line. He was stripped. It was a fumble. Yeah, I saw that they replayed that particular play on the highlights, and it looked like a fumble. And yeah, they did have a false start. That guard, I think, left way early. And there's one thing I see from the Eagles when they do that no other team does. And that's because the when they do that, Hurts goes behind either the center or the guard, right behind him, and he has the two backs right behind him in like a power eye. And you got four people going in one direction. You can't stop that. One person can't stop that. Bernard says, felt bad for the Giants. Not a big Giants fan, but they've been fun to watch lately. Hope your running back heals up. Yeah, that what happened to Scatterboo, that was just nasty. That was a nasty injury. And the thing was, he wasn't going for like extra. Chet says that should have been a penalty, hip drop tackle. Looked to me like he got rolled up on from behind. I don't think he even had the ball, did he? They only showed it once, but hmm. Oh wow. Well, somebody's having a medical emergency around here. Just had the fire department come in, and I believe I hear a ambulance coming. Yep, there's the ambulance. Somebody having a medical emergency around here. I was I was sort of worried we'd have a fire alarm to have to stop this. Yeah. John says, surprised he got hurt with all that armor on. LOL. Should be like the rugby, no padding or helmets, and no, way less injuries. Yeah, John, but the thing is, he got hurt in his ankle. And there's no protection down on your feet area. Chet says, even though the Giants probably would have lost anyway, but it was much closer if you took away the touchdown after the tush push and the touchdown taken from Slayton for OPI. Both were hands fighting, and the defender was holding the jersey. Yeah. Obiarki, going back on topic, says, done any more Metal Earth models, Mike? No, but after the Bristol Bulldogs done, I believe I've got one coming up next, going on my bench. Going to do a Huey. It's a Huey helicopter Metal Earth kit. So, yeah, that'll be coming up in about probably a week or two, maybe less, because this Bristol Bulldog is going pretty quickly. Then once I get it painted, I'm gonna have to stop because the decals in it are crap. Chet says the refs have sucked the past few years. They need to be investigated if gambling is involved. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but it could be. They uncovered a big mess with the mafia in the NBA. So Bernard says, anyone add anything to their stashes recently? I haven't. I've been doing Christmas shopping. John says, is the Bulldog the new Airfix kit? Gee, I wish. Moosey wants down. So you can probably bark at somebody. No, John, actually, it's a very old Smur kit. And it's full of flash, and I mean the fit's all right, but I mean the plastic is garbage. Plastic doesn't take plastic doesn't take the to my extra thin with a damn. I gotta lather stuff on for it to work. Obiarki says just finished Deadpool. Seems easier than some of those tanks. Huh. Never done Deadpool. John says Bernard waiting till next week, then we'll be going mad. Bernard says we're heading into the time of year when there will be all kinds of sales. Sorry, Wallet. Yeah, yeah. Especially here in a month. Here in a month is going to be Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So, yeah, like I said, Bernard, sorry, Wallet. Get over it. Can't you hear the plastic screaming? And I'm I'm not talking polystyrene. Yeah, I got a few things to buy for me, myself, and some stuff to buy for Moosey. Chet says Ollie's says they have monogram Revel kits in stock for $15.99 each. I think we have an Ollie's store that just opened up about a month or so ago. Hmm, interesting. Obiarki says just added B25 Hobby Lobby special to my small pile. I'll start on it when I need a good cussing session. Yeah. What Hobby Lobby special? Who made it? Or is it a unbranded Hobby Lobby special? John says Telford last year cost me over £1,000 when I bought the 135th Dora, but as said the wife, I got free postage. Hey, there you go. OBR, it's Ravel. Okay. Bernard says, I did add the USPS postal stamp muscle car kit for the Shelby. It's the same old AMT mold from the 1960s, but it comes in a neat tin box. Cool. Jan, where the hell have you been? How you doing, bud? How's things going in North Central Europe? We've been talking about weathering today. Chet says, I want to find a touch-tone terror wheelie truck for the Mark Batson Content Creator Shop Truck Challenge, but they are now getting a good amount for it. Wow. So had a dentist appointment, still sore jaw. Been there, done that. I feel for you, buddy. Bernard says, Obayarki, no joke. You'll be in the same boat as me with that kit, sanding away, but think how nice it will look when you're done. Moosey, calm down, buddy. Calm it. Sorry, guys. Oboyarki says, wondering when Jan was going to show up. Hello there. Hey, better late than never, Jan. Better late than never. Still got 20 minutes to talk, so Moosey, calm down now. Chet says, tell Moosey thanks now. Lexi's gone. Hey, Moosey, Chet says thanks. Bernard says, Jan, think you'll enter something into our group build? Yeah, Jan, don't forget about the group build. You can enter any kind of Moosey, shut up, please. That's enough. Yeah, Jan. We got the group build going on for the holidays. Just if you start a kit and want to enter it, just send me an email with the poster picture of the model box, and then have the a picture of the finished model to me no later than December 15th. And you send me the email at crippleguycreations@gmail.com. All it's Cripple Guy Creations, all one word, all lowercase, at gmail.com. Obiarki says that B25 is going to be like giving birth, bloody painful, but worthwhile in the end. Jan says still might do, just very busy. Last weekend family trip. Tomorrow start off a 24-hour build. Might enter that. And week A. Okay. Yeah. And next week Telford. Okay. Yeah. No, you don't have to rush it. You got till the 15th of December, so maybe you'll find something at Telford you might want to enter into it. That'd be nice. John says, never mind the dogs. If you see an Alex in the background, shout loud to set an alarm in early hours. It happened to one streamer. He was not amused. Next time he was on, Alex had gone. If you see an Alex in the background, you talking about Alex Mann? Jan says, I want to. I need to build again. Last 3 months have been brutal at work over John Christmas. Alexa, okay. Yeah. Well, he said Alex, and the only Alex I know of is Alex Mann. And that didn't make sense. Why would Alex Mann just show up? Yeah. Coming up on the last 15 minutes, gentlemen. John says autocorrect is crap. Yes, it is. I hate autocorrect. My autocorrect on the computer, I'll write something I know is correct and it'll underline it. Like I misspelled it. And I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit, buddy. I know I'm right. Chet says, I distrust AI, hate autocorrect, and don't like Alexa. I hate autocorrect. I have fun with Alexa type stuff. I really do. My best friend, one of his kids bought an Alexa little box once, and I'd sit there, "Hey Alexa, f off." I cannot do that. Bernard says that's one of the benefits of modeling, gets you away from the screen for a bit. Yep, yep. Amen. Jan says, anyway, what was your idea on weathering? Well, the subject today was subtle versus heavy weathering, which looks best on models. Chet says, anyone see the documentary about Skynet with AI? What could go wrong? No. Where was that on? But the only AI I use on a regular basis is ChatGPT. That really is. That really. Or do I think he means the Terminator? Ah, Chet says a documentary called Terminator. What network was it on? I don't remember seeing anything like that. Probably on one of the networks I don't have, which is a good reason why. Oh, the Arnold Schwarzenegger action flick. Okay, I've seen that many times. Many times. Also saw Terminator 2. Both very good flicks. Very good. First of the movie when Arnold goes around blowing away anybody named Sarah Connor. Goes right down the phone book. Chet says Skynet was the company that made the robots with AI. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Are you Sarah Connor? Boom. Oh, hell. Coming to the last 12 minutes of said live stream. I got to come back here real quick this evening and do a little work on the cockpit part before I finish it all up tomorrow. John says, my wife says the film I, Robot is coming true. That one I didn't watch. I never seen that. But it probably is coming true. I wouldn't doubt it. Yep. Yeah, we're not too far from Star Trek coming true, really. Bernard says, yep, so is the movie Idiocracy. Yeah. Well, all the good ideas have already been taken. Why do you think they keep rehashing all the old stuff, like the longest yard and think they've redone 48 hours now and Idiocracy is a documentary. Ah, well, John says, trying to get back on topic, John says, what is everyone's favorite weathering products? I use pigments and Flory washes. I use women's makeup and I use pastels. I use hairspray for chipping. Got to remember, I run a budget friendly modeling channel. So, Oboyarki says I've 6 warbirds hanging from my porch in a dogfight. Only clear coated the decals. They seem to be weathering better than I could do it by hand. Well, that's a good way to weather. Just stick them outside. Jan says Flory washes plus some oils. Need to use my pigments. That's another thing. I also use oils for sludge washes and pin washes sometimes. Bernard says I heard colored pencils can be an easy way to weather, but as I said earlier, I'm still trying to learn weathering. That's another thing I got. Is colored pencils. John says I never got on with the AK pencils, never tried them. Bernard says, for painting small parts and details, I'm really loving the convenience of acrylic marker pens. There you go. That's going to be my second review of gallery products, or going to be their pens. Jan says, I use expensive oils. Abteilung. Yeah, I can't. I've never been able to pronounce that name. Obayarki Fisherman. I like tube watercolors, but I use whatever's handy. Yes, me too. Chet says I saw a video of someone using Elmer's glue for rusting effect after paint removes the glue. Wow. Never thought of that. Bernard says, cool, looking forward to that review. So, damn, it's almost 25, an hour and 25 minutes. John says, Abteilung Starship Filth is great for weathering. Never tried the stuff, really. So I'm going to wait a couple minutes, and then I'm going to go into my final spiel here, tell you what's going to remind you what's going down the channel and everything, close this baby out. So, You guys can keep on chatting here in a couple minutes, but I will not respond because I'll be closing this thing out. That's in a couple minutes, literally. Because we've been on for an hour and 25 minutes. Time just goes by like that. Chet says AK or Vallejo as a rusting kit that makes crusty rust effects. It's a paint with metal in it and a solution that rusts it. Wow. Abtilug is just a high-grade oil paint with colors made for modeling. I've heard of it. All right. I'm going to start ending this thing. So, final word on the topic of the day is whether you go subtle or heavy. It's all about telling your model's story. If you have any other comments after the stream, just put them in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And also, if you haven't done so, don't forget about the Facebook group, the Frugal Scale Modeler. If you haven't joined, just go to the group's homepage, answer 3 questions, and agree to the group rules. Once I look them over, I'll send you a message saying go ahead and start posting. Good place to post whip, finished builds, all your tips, talk to fellow modelers, commiserate. Don't forget, I am now affiliated with Gallery Airbrush Company. If you go there and you use the code MWMike, all capital letters, all in one word, get 10% off at checkout. So don't forget that. Next video's coming up. Here we go. Tomorrow we start finishing up the Hasegawa Zero build. We're gonna put some paint on it. We're gonna put a clear coat on it. We're gonna do some decals. And then video coming Tuesday will be the finale of the Hasegawa Zero build series. We're gonna be weathering it. We're gonna put the final pieces on, put the final clear coat on. And we're going to show you the finished model, and most of all, we're going to give that final score for the kit. So that's what's coming on the channel. And don't forget the live stream next week, Thursday next week at 3:30, God willing. And let's see. Am I missing anything? Oh, yeah. I forgot about Friday's video of next week, which you don't want to miss because I'm going to be the next in a long line of channels to review the Gallery Kaleido paint line. So that will be coming up next Friday. So you don't want to miss that. So that being said, you know what we say around here? Say it with me. Never stop pushing your modeling boundaries. Until tomorrow at 8:30. Bye bye.